And welcome to the Bulls Digest pregame as the Chicago Bulls get ready to take on the Washington Wizards. We're looking at all the keys for tonight's game and also some of the recent news around both teams. And so let's start with the injury update for both teams and starting with the Chicago Bulls and what's going on with them. And so this was released just a couple of hours ago with Lonzo Ball. It looks like that he is set to potentially return back on Wednesday. So that is a good sign for the Chicago Bulls. I talked about this on his podcast where he was saying that the team needs to be a better rebounding team and then also to cut down the turnovers. I think that Lonzo Ball certainly will help this team as far as getting over those turnovers. I think right now, currently he's still second on the team in assist to turnover ratio. Talking about Lonzo Ball and his basketball IQ, I think that he's going to help this team offensively as far as helping the team really be in the right spots offensively and also to continue to push the pace. And defensively, I know he's not quite the defender that he maybe used to be with the athleticism, but he still knows how to go out there and defend. So I think that that is going to help the team. So hopefully they can get him back on Wednesday. Next up, I think another update for the Chicago Bulls is going to be with Julian Phillips. I guess a couple days ago, they were saying that he had just come back to practice, coming back from the illness. And so there's a chance that he is going to maybe be out there tonight, or he's probable. So that's a good thing for the Chicago Bulls. And I think with him, much like a lot of these younger players, they just need to continue to get reps out there. I think that with Julian Phillips, they're going to need his defense. I think that Dalen Terry and him really feed off of each other. And we're starting to see some signs from both of those players. And so hopefully we get a chance to see both of those players. And then next up, just kind of going through the injury report and looking at THT. So THT, he had I guess a thumb sprain. And so with him, essentially, I guess he got hurt in the game. I do remember it's like he was either going for a ball or something like that, and he starts to reach for his hand. And so it looks like that he is dealing with that, and he's day-to-day. So hopefully we get a chance to have him tonight. I know he has been playing some minutes off the bench, and so depends on what Billy Donovan wants to do, but he has been a good source of offense for us out there, and he's quietly been making some plays too, so he's getting some assists and other things too. So next up, just looking at the Washington Wizards and what's going on with them. Before we do, I wanted to go ahead and jump into the chat and see what D-Law has to say. He says, look, Ball, Williams, and Sanogo due back tomorrow. So hopefully we do get them back. I haven't heard anything recently here, but I'd have to go check and see what's going on with Patrick Williams, but that would be a good sign to get Patrick Williams back, especially since he's been dealing with that inflammation in the same foot where he had the surgery. And so next up with the Washington Wizards, and so with them, look, they have some veteran players that are going to be out. You see that they have Bay, who's going to be out. They have Jordan Poole that's going to be out, dealing with a player here that has a hamstring as well. And so, look, this team is going to be very reliant on the rookies tonight for the Washington Wizards. And so this is their injury report and some of the things that are going on with them. And so with these two teams in comparison, I think that the biggest takeaway is just that defensively, both of these teams really struggle, okay? Because both teams are at the bottom of the league essentially in defending right now. Defensive ratings, you're seeing that with the Chicago Bulls coming in at 28th. You have the Washington Wizards at 30th. So both teams struggle there. And then as far as opponent field goal percentage, I've got the Chicago Bulls at 30th and the Washington Wizards at 24th. So that's going to be something to watch for tonight between the two teams. Just who is going to decide to play defense? I think that is going to be the key for tonight's game. And so just looking at our projected starters and some of the storylines for them and the things that I'm looking forward to seeing. And so we have Ayo Dosunmu. He's listed as a projected starter. Hopefully he can get going from the slow start. And hopefully with Josh Giddey, he continues to have just that confidence. He's been playing very well this last couple games, and hopefully he can continue with that. He also got off to a slow start, so hopefully he can continue on with Zach Lavine and Vooch. I think the key for them is to continue to play well. There's been the reports out there that they're actively being shopped, which is something that we all knew. But I think that as they continue to play well, then hopefully we are going to get the best case scenario back in a trade situation. And so I think that it is important that they continue to play well. And I've talked about how there's been low usage rate for both of those players. So it's not like that they've been going outside of the team concept to play well, which is good. I think for both players, they've came in, they've been very focused. And so those are the things that I'm looking forward to seeing with the Chicago Bulls tonight, along with Matas Buzelis. Matas Buzelis has been getting some minutes, played very well. He actually led us in the plus-minus box score in this last game out, played 29 minutes, 14 points, 2 of 5 from downtown, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. And so hopefully we see some more of Matas Buzelis. I think that this is the time to see Matas Buzelis, especially with Patrick Williams being out, and then also too, just dealing with the fact that we're still trying to figure this team out as a whole. Hopefully we see a little bit more of Matas Buzelis. And so next up, just looking at the Washington Wizards and what they have. And so with the Wizards, the key for me with them is going to be just the fact that they're starting a lot of younger players. I think that with them, they have a lot of rookies that are going to be starting. And so I think that their team is going to show us really what it looks like if you're going into a full rebuild. And so, I want to see, what Alex Sarr is going to do. I want to see Bub Carrington out there, like some of these players that they've just selected, along with some of the younger players that they have, from a season ago. And so I think that that is maybe the key takeaway in tonight's game for the Washington Wizards and what they are going to be putting out there on the floor. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into just the chat to see if we got anything. I think last we left off with D-Law saying that it looks like Ball, Williams, and Sanogo may be back tomorrow. So hopefully that is a good thing for them. And hopefully the Chicago Bulls can get this win, man. I think that, this is a win that they certainly can get. I think that the bottom line for them is they do need to cut down the turnovers. I think that the turnovers really are an indication of you beating yourself. So hopefully this is a game where you do cut down those turnovers, especially on a team that is struggling defensively like you are. And then going back to something that Billy Donovan had talked about, I think a couple of days ago when he was asked about the team defense, I think that collectively, somehow, some way, the Chicago Bulls need to figure this out. And so hopefully Lonzo Ball, when he gets back, is going to help them out as far as the communication standpoint. But it's going to be more than just individual efforts out there. They're going to have to find ways to swarm to the basketball, to make the extra play after the initial play, which I think that's what Billy Donovan is talking about when he's saying, look, you've got to make these players make a couple moves and not just get comfortable and get to their scoring position and then that's it. So hopefully we get a little bit more resistance with our defense. I know from a perimeter standpoint that is going to be tough with this team. Obviously, I think that I've said this several times, they still need to fix this roster and get it more to a defensive-minded roster to go along with this scoring. That seems to be working for this team. So going back to the chat, the key is not to play down to the competition. Absolutely. So hopefully the Chicago Bulls do not do that, especially when you're a team that you need to win, these games and you need this experience. And so part of becoming a winning team is you have to learn how to take care of teams that you should beat. And so, yes, I think that this goes into really just winning habits with the Chicago Bulls. You don't want to play down to those teams. You want to go out there. You want to finish off the teams that you should finish off. And so, hopefully the Chicago Bulls do not play down to their competition tonight like the defensive ratings really suggest. And so, it's a great point. So with that being said, I just wanted to hop on here. I know we are about 10 minutes away from game time, so just wanted to go ahead and drop some quick notes about the injury reports and some of the things to look forward for in tonight's game. Once again, the Washington Wizards, they are coming in with a younger team. I think that they're in rebuild mode. They're trying to figure out what to do with that. And the Chicago Bulls, look, we have a lot of questions. We're still trying to figure it out. We still have Zach. We still got Vooch. We still haven't really figured out if we're pivoting to the youth movement or if we're going to stay the course with the same direction. Hopefully we see something that gives us a little bit more of an indication of which way perhaps this franchise wants to go. And so hopefully I will see you guys on the post game. Definitely enjoy the game. We'll be talking about the Chicago Bulls against the Washington Wizards post game here. So I'll see you on that one. Appreciate you for supporting and liking the channel. Make sure that you go ahead, like, subscribe, share. That means a lot to us as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the season. And so even though we have a lot of questions out there, I'm still saying go Bulls, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Peace.